Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Scottish Football Quiz. My name's Ray and this is the second edition of our quiz. If you've done the first one, welcome back. If this is your first time, good luck. Some of the questions are brutal. You might need to have a cry afterwards. I'll explain what's going to happen. It's nice and simple. We have 50 questions about Scottish football coming up for you. The first thing we need you to do, if you've not done it already, get registered. Go to the link, it's going to come up on the screen. Go to crowd. If you're an old person, do www first. crowd.live/big football quiz. Football, F-I-T-B-A, the way it should be spelled. Big football quiz, and register. There's 5,000 places on there, so it's a first come first served basis, so make sure you get in as quick as you can. Once you're registered, that's you sorted. We recommend you play on 2 devices, so if you've got an iPad or a laptop handy, play along with your phone as well. The reason is the questions are going to be coming up and we need you to answer on something else. If you're doing it that way, the way it works is it's fastest fingers first, so it's just a little bit easier for you. You still can do it on one device, but it just makes it a lot trickier. So go to crowd.live/big football quiz and get registered. We've got 5 rounds for you. Some cool rounds like Name the Club one, which is absolutely brutal. We've got some Scottish Cup questions, Scottish football general knowledge, and we're giving away prizes as we go out tonight. You're going to be playing against some kind of more famous names in Scottish football. Ian Maxwell, Scottish FA Chief Exec's playing along. He cheated last time, so here's hoping we can get him pumped tonight. And also, I'll tell you what you're playing for. The main prize tonight, your first place is a Scotland Supporters Club membership, a brand new Scotland away shirt, and a Scotland taxi board game. We'll tell you a little bit more about the board game later on, but get in touch with us. That's the fun thing. Everyone's in the same situation right now, so get in touch with us. Let us know where you're playing. You can do hashtag Big Football Quiz on Twitter. You can do the Facebook comments. My favourite one so far we've had in was 58 minutes before this started. Rab in Glenrothes let us know that he was playing along from Glenrothes, which just proves that nothing ever happens in Fife. Get in touch, let us know where you are, and have some fun. So register for the quiz, crowd.live/big football quiz. Get in touch with that. And before we do that, let's look a little video of Scottish Cup highlights over the last few years.
Let's get ready to rumble!
On behalf of everyone at the Scotland national team, I just wanted to say thank you once again to our wonderful NHS. Remember to stay home and stay safe.
Thanks to Stuart Armstrong for that video there, where he looks very hungover, doesn't he? Someone's enjoying lockdown. Anyway, thanks for everyone who's got in touch so far. Remember, if you've not registered before, get to go to crowd.live/big football quiz. Get registered. We'll be starting the quiz in about 3 or 4 minutes, so get registered on there while you can. Thanks to people who've got in touch so far. We have Ken Murray. He's playing along in sunny Scarborough, clearly a man who's never been to Scarborough. And Adam in Dalkeith is playing along as well. Let us know where you're playing. What we're going to do is we're going to give away different prizes throughout the night. The first one we're going to start now. If you played last time, you'll know last time we gave away Scotland Hawaiian national team shirts. That's a real sentence, by the way. I've not made that up. I've looked online, they're 40 quid. So if you want to buy one, maybe we could all go on a night out after this. It'd be quite fun. This time we're giving away something a bit different. We're giving away the Scotland Taxi board game. So you'll see it on the screen. We'll explain a little bit about it. It's 500 football questions, Scottish trivia. It's kind of like this quiz, but the person that hosts it is a bit less attractive because it's probably you rather than me. We're going to show you videos tonight and you need to tell us an answer. I'm going to ask a question before each video. The first one we're going to do to win one of these, will get sent out to you after lockdown. We want to know what year or what season this clips are from. So we don't want years, so you need to give us a season. So it could be 81, 82, 84, 85, 71, whatever. We need you to give us a season, not just a year. Get in touch once you see the video. We'll be giving the first prize away in a couple of minutes. So get in touch with the Facebook comments or hashtag Big Football Quiz, and you've got a chance to win. Last time people were fighting for these, so get in early with your answer. I'm going to show you a video now and tell us what season these clips are from. Okay, so that's your first question there. What season is that from? Get in touch, hashtag Big Football Quiz, or get in touch with the Facebook comments. Like I said, we'll be giving that prize away in a couple of minutes straight away, so get your answers in right there. We're going to start the quiz in 2 minutes. If you haven't registered, get to crowd.live/Big Football Quiz and get registered. There's only 5,000 places. If you miss out, you can still play along at home, but we won't be able to come up with your scores. You'll need to do that yourself. So last couple of minutes to get registered before we kick off. And in the meantime, let's look at a place in history, the time tunnel of the Scottish Cup winners.
Huge thank you to every single person at the NHS. You guys are making a really difficult time so much easier for so many people. A huge personal thank you to Claire Dixon and Liz Walker. You guys are amazing. Thank you for everything.
So thanks to Fiona Brown from the Scotland Women's National Team there for that video. She's over in Sweden just now. A few more shout-outs. People get in touch, let us know where you're playing. We've got Grant Young in the Isle of Mull, Michael Curran in Forres, and Tom Timlin, which is a wonderful name, in Alberta, Canada. He's the most exotic so far, apart from the guy from Glenrothes. And Jennifer with James and Lewis playing along in Carluke. Right, first things, we're just about to start the quiz. Before we do that, let's give away our first prize. I showed you a video earlier and asked you what season this was from. This is for the Scotland Taxi board game, and of course the season was 2013 to 2014. Winner picked at random is Andy Crawford, who got in touch on Twitter, so congratulations Andy. Get in touch with the guys who are running the quiz and they'll send out your taxi board game the minute lockdown's finished. So without further ado, let's get started. We've got 50 questions for the quiz. Let's kick off with our first round, 5 rounds of 10. First round, the Scottish Football General Knowledge round. Cool, so here's how we're going to do it. We've got 10 questions in each round. It's fastest fingers first, so get your answers in as quick as you can. That's why we're saying about the 2 devices. Remember, if you're not signed up, you can still sign up now because some people get the first question wrong. Crowd.live/Big Football Quiz. 4 4 answers for each question, 4 potential answers, and we'll give you the answer after each question, and we'll keep going through it like that. Let's kick off with question 1, a nice, ridiculously easy one, if you know this. I didn't. Question 1. Which of these Scottish League grounds is furthest north? So which of these Scottish League grounds is furthest north? Arbroath, Brecon City, Forfar Athletic, or Montrose? So quite an Angus heavy question to start. Very Dick Campbell heavy, this question, let's be honest. There's a euphemism. Which of these Scottish League grounds is furthest north? We got Arbroath, Brecon, Forfar, or Montrose. Which one do you think is furthest north? Like I said, you're going to have about 20 seconds for each question, so if you are conferring with someone, get your answer in quick. The correct answer, furthest league ground north, is Brecon City. Glebe Park in Brecon is slightly further north than Montrose. I think it's because of the hedge that maybe narrows it down. That's how it's going to work. We're going to ask you questions like that, and they'll come in through. Question number 2, the Scottish Football General Knowledge Round. Question number 2. Who was the last team to win the Scottish Junior Cup that wasn't Auchinleck Talbot? So who was the last team to win the Scottish Junior Cup that wasn't Auchinleck? Pollock, Hurlford United, Glenafton Athletic, or Musselburgh Athletic? Who was the last team that weren't Auchinleck Talbot to win the Junior Cup? Obviously Talbot been quite successful in the last couple of years, but who was the last team to win it before them? Pollock, Hurlford, Glenafton, or Musselburgh? Well done if you got this. The correct answer is C, Glenafton Athletic. Talbot won it the last 2 years. Glenafton won it in 2017, Pollock in 2016, and Hurlford in 2014, and runners-up in 2018. 2 down, 48 to go. We'll be doing a leaderboard at the end of each round, so you can see where you're ranking. They'll tell you, I think I'll get the top 10 maybe in some random ones, so I'll keep you updated. Question 3. Which of these players made their Scotland debut first? Which of these players made their Scotland debut first? Davy Weir, Craig Burley, Colin Hendry, or Paul Lambert? Who made their Scotland debut first? You get 3 Hall of Famers there, and one that got very close to it. But who made their debut first? All guys made their debuts in the 90s, but who made their debut first? Davy Weir, Craig Burley, Colin Hendry, or Paul Lambert? The correct answer for this one, the debut top by quite a far way, was Colin Hendry, one of my best friends. He's not actually, but I say that every now and then. Davy Weir made his debut in 1997 against Wales. Paul Lambert and Craig Burley made the debut in the same game in 1995 against Japan, but Colin Hendry way ahead, 1993 against Estonia. Colin Hendry also turned up at my mate's 30th birthday. What a guy. Let's move on to the next one. Question number 4. Willie Miller had his birthday on Saturday, just gone. What age was he? So Willie Miller, I need to focus on this because the last 2 times I've said his name on live radio, I've called him Willie Millie, which is a much better name. But Willie Miller had his birthday on Saturday. What age was he? 55, 60, 65, 70. I believe Richard Gordon is playing along, who presents a show with him every week. So hopefully you get this right, Richard. So 55, 60, 65 or 70. How old was Willie Millie at the weekend? That should be his rap name, Willie Millie. Willie Millie at the weekend was in fact 65. He was 65 years old at the weekend, so he's still allowed out and doesn't need to stay home for 12 weeks. So well done if you got that. 65. I don't know if he was on the radio on his birthday, but 65 years old on Saturday. Happy birthday, Willie Miller, or Willie Millie. Question number 5. This one is a bit tricky. Who did Rangers beat in the quarter-finals of the UEFA Cup in 2008 when they made the final? So in 2008, Rangers made the final. Who did they beat in the quarter-finals? Sporting, Werder Bremen, Fiorentina, or Panathinaikos? Rangers famously made the final that year in Manchester. They lost the game and nothing else happened in the city that we can talk about at all. So let's just move on. Sporting, Werder Bremen, Fiorentina, or Panathinaikos? Who did Rangers beat in the quarter-finals that year? This is a tricky one because they actually played all these teams en route to the final. But the correct answer is A, Sporting. So they played Sporting in the quarters. They drew 0-0 but beat them 2-0 away. They played Panathinaikos in the round of 32. They played Werder Bremen in the last 16 and Fiorentina in the semi-finals. So hopefully Rangers fans, you would have got that one. We could ask the same question, who did Rangers play in 2013? And the answer would be same old Alloa. Let's go on to question 6. Question number 6. Who is the only team, apart from Hibs or Glasgow City, to appear in a Women's Scottish Cup final since 2015? So who's the only other team, apart from Hibs and Glasgow City, to appear in the Women's Scottish Cup final? Do we have Motherwell, Celtic, Spartans, or I didn't know this was a full name, but I love it, Forfar Farmington? So Hibs and Glasgow City have had a bit of stranglehold in the cup finals over the last few years, but who's the only other team since 2015 to get in there with them? Motherwell, Celtic, Spartans, or Forfar Farmington? Well done if you got this. 2018, Motherwell also reached the final. Didn't go that well for them. They played Hibs in 2018 and they lost 8-0. So congratulations if you got that one right. And I think we all should support Forfar Farmington from now on. Question number 7. Question number 7 about a guy I think I speak for all of us, that I hope returns to the national team quite soon. Who did Celtic sign Lee Griffiths from? So who did Celtic sign Lee Griffiths from? Your options are Hibs, Livingston, Dundee, or Wolverhampton Wanderers. Lee Griffiths, a guy who hasn't played for the national team in quite a while, and someone who I think we kind of need up there as a kind of different striking option. We played 6 different strikers, I think, last year. So yeah, hopefully Lee Griffiths makes it back soon. So who did Celtic sign him from? Hibs, Livingston, Dundee, or Wolverhampton Wanderers? He's played for all teams, of course, but who did Celtic sign him from? The correct answer for this one, Celtic signed him from Wolves. A bit of a tricky one this, because he'd been on loan at Hibs the 2 seasons before this, but they did sign him direct from Wolves. Question number 8. So 3 more to go in this round. Question number 8. Here we go. Who did Andy Robertson, current Scotland captain, make his senior Scotland debut against? So I like this question. I'll tell you why in a minute. Who did he make his senior Scotland debut against? Czech Republic, Poland, England, or Norway? The reason I like this question is because we all know people on the internet who'd go, well, actually, it wasn't. He made his under-21 debut first. So that's why we've had to put the word senior in there. So who did Andy Robertson make his senior Scotland debut against? Was it Czech Republic, Poland, England, or Norway? Well done if you got this. The answer was B, Poland. Andy Robertson made his debut against Poland, coming off the bench away in 2014. The next one is one of my favourite questions in the quiz because it's in Scottish football general knowledge, but I don't think it's general knowledge. We'll find out. What was the name of the fictional football team in the film A Shot at Glory? So in the Scottish football film A Shot at Glory, what was the name of the fictional team? Was it Inverleven FC, Greendale Thistle, Earls Park, or Kilknocky FC? What was the name of the fictional football team? 2002 film, Robert Duvall, Ali McCoy. It's about a small Scottish fishing town, and the team get to the Scottish Cup final. It's kind of like Gretna without the ponytail and the Porsches. So who was it? Well done if you got this. I didn't have a clue, and I've seen the film. The correct answer for the fictional Scottish football team was Kilknocky FC. If you put Earls Park, that's the football team in Footballers' Wives. So I want to say well done, but no, have a better chance, right? And final question of this round. Question number 10 of this round. Who won the first ever Scottish Challenge Cup in 1991? Who won the first ever Scottish Challenge Cup in 1991? Dundee, Ayr United, Hamilton, or Stenhousemuir? I love the Challenge Cup. I'm a Thistle fan. Woo! And we got to the final, was it 2013? We lost to Queen of South on penalties, but it was a great day out. And I think if you're a fan of a team that supports the loyalty, my dad's a Stranraer fan, and they won it in the 90s, and it was just great. But who won the first one in 1991? Dundee, Ayr United, Hamilton, or Stenhousemuir? Well done if you got this. In 1991, Dundee won the first final. They beat Ayr in the first ever final. Hamilton won it the second year, again beating Ayr, and Stenhousemuir won it eventually in 1996. So that's the end of round 1, the Scottish Football General Knowledge round. Well done to those of you who got some questions right. We'll have a look at the leaderboard in a bit. But first, let's give away our second spot prize of the evening. We've got another Scotland Taxi board game to give away. And similar as before, what we're going to do is show you another video. this is kind of question of sport style. It's one of those spot something in particular in the video. I mean, I've watched this 3 times and I struggled to get it. So if you get it, well done. But we're going to show you a video and pay close attention to everything that's happened, and I'm going to ask you a question about something in this video once the video is finished. So if you've got, maybe if you're on your phone or a pen and paper, maybe write down as many things as you can, kind of question of sport style, and see something that happens in this video. I'll ask you the question about what we're looking for afterwards, but first, let's enjoy the video. So there's the video there. I don't make up the question, so don't have a go at me. The question we want to know is, what was the number on the 4th official's board when the substitution was being made? This is on screen for like a second, so hopefully someone's got it, because otherwise it's dead awkward. But what was the number on the 4th official's board when the substitution was being made? Get in touch. Hashtag Big Football Quiz if you're playing on Twitter. If you're on Facebook, comment and we'll be giving the prize away at the end of the next round. So what was the number on the 4th official's board? A few shout outs before we go to the leaderboard. People getting in touch. Scott Fleming in Amsterdam. Mate, if you're in Amsterdam, I suppose it's in lockdown. Why are you playing a quiz? Helen Shedden in Kilmarnock. Alan and David Wilson in Aberdeen. And also, Richard Gordon has been in touch to say he did get the question right, and instead of calling him Willy Millie, he's called him Millie Willy. So he's remixed it. I like that. And let's go to our first leaderboard of the evening. So let's go to the leaderboard. Let's see what we've got there. I've got it in front of me here. Let's have a look. We have Neil Barkley. Congratulations, Neil. 10 out of 10. Well done. We have, let's see who else. We've got Sean Gallagher on 9. Craig Anderson on 9. And then for some reason, when I get a screenshot, I just get given random placings. So I've got 67th place right now. So well done to people who got 7 out of 10. Chris Monaghan, Mark Delgarno, Stuart Rennie, Gordon Richardson, John McLeod, Stephanie Snowden, James Evans, Craig Cameron and David Kemp. So well done to you guys in 67th place just now. It'll be changing as we go, obviously. Very proud to say and very happy to say Ian Maxwell, Scottish FA Chief Executive, is not even in the top 500. What an enjoyable moment. So let's go on to round 2. Round 2 is the Scottish Cup final questions. So, Scottish Cup final questions. We've got 10 questions, multiple choice, same as before. Just remember to get your answers in as quick as you can. A nice, simple one to start as of. I don't make the questions, some of them are ridiculous. Question number 11. Let's go with question number 11. In 2016, Hibs became the second non-top flight side to win the Scottish Cup. But who were the first? So in 2016, Hibs became the second non-top flight side to win the Cup. Who was the first? Partick Thistle, Greenock Morton, East Fife, or Dunfermline Athletic? So Hibs were second non-top flight side to win the Scottish Cup, but who was the first? Was it Partick Thistle? Woo! I don't know why I turned into Ric Flair there. Greenock Morton, East Fife, or Dunfermline Athletic? Let's kick it off with a nice easy one. The answer, of course, I'm sure everyone knew this, is C, East Fife. East Fife won it in 1938, which I believe was the day Willie Miller was conceived. Big Willie Millie. So, question 12. Question 12. Another Scottish Cup round, obviously. Which of these clubs has not won the Scottish Cup? 4 clubs here. Who's not won the Scottish Cup? Your options are Thornliebank, Vale of Leven, Renton, or St Bernard's. St Bernard's obviously a dog, so I don't know. Football was quite bad back in the day, but I don't know if a dog ever won it. St Bernard's, Renton, Vale of Leven, or Thornliebank. Who has not won the Scottish Cup of these 4 sides? Correct answer on this one, I'm not a chance I would have got it, is A, Thornliebank. Thornliebank were runners-up in 1880, which I think most people know. Vale of Leven won it 3 times, Renton in 1888, and St Bernard, Beethoven the dog, won it in 1895. Question 13. How many different venues have hosted Scottish Cup finals? So over the past few years, it's moved occasionally, but over the whole course of the Scottish Cup final, how many different venues have hosted it? 4, 5, 6, or 7? So have a think. I say have a think. I've got the answer in front of me and I wouldn't be able to think of that. 4, 5, 6, or 7. How many different venues have hosted Scottish Cup finals? 4, 5, 6, or 7. The correct answer on this one, how many different venues have hosted Scottish Cup final? The correct answer is 7. 7 different Scottish Cup final venues. I'll name them for you. We've obviously got Hampden Park, which is an obvious one. We have, let's see what else we've got. Celtic Park, Ibrox, Hamilton Crescent, Cathkin Park, New Logie Green, which I believe is in Edinburgh, and then we've also got Kinning Park, which is a subway station. So there we go. That's the 7 different venues that have hosted Scottish Cup finals. Question 14, a sequence question for you now. Complete this sequence. John Smith, Jimmy Quinn, Dixie Deans. Complete that sequence for me. John Smith, Jimmy Quinn, Dixie Deans. What is the next one in this sequence? Is it Henrik Larsson, Gordon Jury, Chris Boyd, or Rudy Scatchell? What is the next one in this sequence? John Smith, Jimmy Quinn, Dixie Deans. We've got Henrik Larsson, Gordon Jury, Chris Boyd, or Rudy Scatchell. This is one of the ones, if you get the first couple, you'll get it straight away. The answer we're looking for is B, Gordon Jury. The reason that is, it's players that have scored a hat-trick in a Scottish Cup final. John Smith did it, Jimmy Quinn did it, Dixie Dean, and then Gordon Jury did it in 1996 for Rangers, a 5-1 win over Hearts, the Gilles Rousset game. Well done if you got that one. Let's move on to the next one. Question number 15. But current Scottish Premiership side. Which was the current Scottish Premiership side was the first to win the Scottish Cup? Of the Scottish Premiership sides, who was the first to win the Scottish Cup? Hibs, Celtic, Rangers, or Kilmarnock? Who was the first of these Scottish Premiership sides to win the Scottish Cup? Hibs, Celtic, Rangers, or Kilmarnock? Have a think back. The correct answer, I think if you're a fan of this club, you might know, but the rest of it, Hibs, Celtic, Rangers, or Kilmarnock, the correct answer is A, Hibs. Hibs won it back in 1887, a game I believe Kenny Miller made his debut in, and they won it again early 1900s, and then they didn't win it for a long time. So they won it in 1887, but that's the main thing. There's another Hibs question later on relating to them that Hibs fans, I think you're going to hate me for. Halfway through this round, 5 down, 5 to go. Let's move on to question 16. More up-to-date question now. Which of these players has been involved in a Scottish Cup final for the most different teams? Stephen Presley, Jamie McDonald, Steve Banks, or Anthony Stokes? So who's played in the most Scottish Cup finals for different teams? Stephen Presley, Jamie McDonald, Steve Banks, or Anthony Stokes? Much more recent few of these guys played, some of them quite successfully, in Scottish Cup finals over the years, but who's played in the most for different teams? Presley, McDonald, Banks, or Stokes? The correct answer on this one is A, Stephen Presley. Stephen Presley has played in four different teams: Rangers, Hearts, Celtic, and Falkirk. Jay McDonald's played for 3, Queen of the South, Hearts and Falkirk. Steve Banks has won all 3 of his cup finals with Hearts, Dundee United, St Johnstone, and Anthony Stokes just the 2, Celtic and Hibs. Question 17. Let's move on to question 17. What is the most goals a losing side have scored in a Scottish Cup final? So what is the most goals a losing side have scored in a Scottish Cup final? 3, 4, 5 or 6. So the most goals a losing side have scored in a Scottish Cup final. There's a clue to this one if you've watched some stuff on BBC Scotland recently. Some of the replay games they're showing have been brilliant. I've really enjoyed them. And one of them I watched is the answer to this one. So is it 3, 4, 5 or 6? The most goals for a losing side have scored in a Scottish Cup final is in fact 3. Well done if you got that. It's happened 3 separate occasions. Queen's Park v Celtic in 1900, Celtic v Hearts in 1901, and most recently the game I was talking about, Dundee United against Motherwell in 1991. I don't know if you watched it. I don't know if it's still on iPlayer. If you get a chance, watch it. It's amazing. The shorts are so short, but also there's about 12 red cards in that game, and I think there's about 2 bookings. It's insane. If you get a chance, watch it. Question 18. This is the only question in the quiz we're going to give you slightly longer to answer because it's a thinker. Okay? So question number 18. Which of these nationalities have had the most players from that country score in a Scottish Cup final since the year 2000? So how many different players from that nationality? Wales, France, Australia or Republic of Ireland? Who have had the most players from that country score a goal? Like I said, I'll give you some thinking time. But Wales, France, Australia or Republic of Ireland? What nationalities scored the most goals recently? It's a good question this, I liked it. Couple more seconds to do your work in. Let's see. The answer is Australia. I'll give you the maths. France have only had 2. Onsen Edward and Olivier Ncham, both in the last couple of seasons, obviously. Ireland also 2. Anthony Stokes scoring for twice for Hibs, and Johnny Hayes in 2017. Wales with 3. Marley Watkins, Joe Ledley, and my doppelganger John Hartson, who I think is a beautiful man, obviously. Australia have had 4. Tony Vidmar in 2000, Ryan McGowan in 2012, Tom Roderick in 2017, and Ryan Edwards scoring the opener for Hearts last season. So Australia was the correct answer there. So well done if you got that. Penultimate question this round, which means second last. One of these players has won the Scottish Cup. Who though? So one of these players has won the Scottish Cup. Which one? Kevin Kyle, Liam Craig, Chris Olumu, and Big Virgil van Dijk. I do a podcast called Soccer FM, and one of the questions, I always ask stupid questions. I've had more than 2 or 3 players say that Virgil van Dijk is the best smelling player they've ever smelt in their life. So when they were getting marked at a corner, they just said it was amazing. So was it Big Virg, was it Chris Olumu, Liam Craig, or Kevin Kyle? Who has won the Scottish Cup? Answer to question 19. A man, it doesn't matter if he's won a Scottish Cup, he'll be remembered for other things. Chris Olumu. He won it. He was on the bench for St Johnstone in 2014. So he obviously won it then. I think he'll be remembered for the game against Norway, won't he? And final question in this round. Question number 20. This is a cup final I remember quite easily. 2000 cup final. Who ended up going in goals for Aberdeen, replacing Jim Leighton after just 3 minutes? So who replaced Jim Leighton in goals? Was it David Rowson, Andy Dow, Jamie McAllister or Robbie Winters? Quite famously, Aberdeen didn't have a sub-keeper, so they had to put an outfield player in goals. Jim Leighton, in his final match, lasted for 3 minutes. Aberdeen lost 4-0 to Rangers in the end, but who conceded all 4 goals? Was it David Rowson, Andy Dow, Jamie McAllister or Robbie Winters? The answer for this one, final question in this round, was D. Robbie Winters. A man who went on to play in Norway for a while. Robbie Winters went in goals. And yeah, like I said, Aberdeen lost this. Side note, David Rowson is now a financial advisor, and quite a good one. Check him out. So that's the end of round 2. Well done if you got them right. Let's give away our second spot prize. So people actually got this right. We were worried it would be quite awkward and no one would get it right, but someone did. We asked you what number the 4th official was holding up as a substitution was made in the video. The correct answer was 12. So well done to Jennifer Stevenson. Get in touch with the guys running the quiz on either Facebook or Twitter, whichever one you entered in, and they'll be sending out a taxi board game out to you. We've got some more shout outs coming in. Clive Grant in Altrincham, Mark, Stu and Ronnie in Elric playing along, Daniel Elder in Kirkcaldy, and Mon the Fife 1 is in Auckland. I was meant to be in Auckland right now doing the comedy festival, and instead I'm hosting a quiz in the corner of my bedroom, so it's good to see my life's gone well. And Mon the Fife 1 in Auckland sounds so much like someone on the witness protection programme. It is unreal. So yeah, thanks for getting in touch and let us know how you're getting on. And also, let's give away our third spot prize of the evening. Same as before, we're going to show you another video. And we need you to tell us how many different teams feature in this video. I'm going to show you a video, it's about a minute long. Take a note of how many different teams feature in this video. Same as before, get in touch, hashtag Big Football Quiz on Twitter, get in touch on Facebook in the comments, put your answer in there, and we picked at random at the end of the next round. So, how many teams feature in this video that we're going to show you right now?
It's Liam Henderson to deliver. The captain! Heads are standing on the brink of history. It's Perrier Doumbé looking to make it happen, and now Beattie. Oh, it's gone in. Celtic have the lead in the 2007 Scottish Cup final. Watkins never one to hang around. Oh, McDonald spills it. Vincent arrives on the scene. Inverness, Kelly Thistle are back in front again.
Oh, that's going to break through for McLean. Oh, that'll finish it. That will surely win the cup for St Johnstone.
The pass cross, Warren Grant has scored this time. And he's won the cup for Rangers. Rogic moves away from O'Connor. And an opening here. Martin Rogic. Celtic have done it. They always seem to do it.
So there's your video. You need to get in touch on hashtag Big Football Quiz on Twitter or on Facebook and let us know how many different teams featured in that video. So we'll be giving the answer to that later on, obviously, so we've got a bit of time to enter that. Before we go into round 3, let's have a look at the leaderboard. I've been sent a couple of leaderboards. Let's have a look. You'll get one on the screen and I'll get a couple here. So in first place, we've got Richard Gordon's boys on 18 points out of a possible 20. That's good going. Last time I think the winner was 37, so you're already halfway there. Scott Cummings, a Scotland rugby player, is in second place. Craig Anderson, third place. And then let's give a shout out to everyone in 85th place. Stephen Riddock, Harry Shedden, James Yule, Craig Douglas, Alan Daly, Stephanie Snowden, Craig Skimmins, Adam Ashgar, and Christopher Treacy, all on 12 points. And also, I've been given, let's go to 157th place. Ian Mortimer, Gary Cocker, Billy Kirkpatrick, Grant Russell, Gary McWee, Ross Latimer, Graham Robertson, Les Anderson and Karen Pow on 11. Seth, I know you're watching this. See you next time. Go to send me who's bottom of the quiz. That'll be more fun to name and shame, because hopefully we see Ian Maxwell's name. You can see the screen scrolling along just now. Hopefully you're still coming through and doing okay on there. So 2 rounds gone. We obviously have 3 more to go. So let's move on to round 3. This is my favourite round of the quiz because it's a bit of nonsense. We're going to play Name the Club. So, same as before, remember fastest fingers first. You're going to get multiple choice options. There's 4 answers in each one. What we're going to do in this round, we're going to show you someone in a strip and you need to tell us what club they played for. Handily, we've taken the badge out. I've got my Scotland top on now, so this badge wouldn't feature in it at all. You need to guess it. Let's move on to question 21, the first one, and name the club. I'd imagine lots of people are going like this right now, zooming in and having a look to see who it is. What club is this? You get 4 options, obviously. Is it Cowdenbeath? Is it Queen of the South? Is it Cove Rangers? Or is it St Johnstone? A team that plays in blue. That's all you got. You got a bit of top of the sponsor right there. Who is that team? Is it Cowdenbeath? Is it Queen of the South, Cove Rangers, or St Johnstone? Correct answer for this one, starting us off, is the League Two champions, Cove Rangers. Cove Rangers, great season under Paul Hartley, Mitch Megginson signed Rory McAllister as well, so a proper potent goal threat. Got some good young loan players like Declan Glass and stuff. So yeah, question 21, Cove Rangers. Winner League Two, and in the Scottish Cup last year, they got knocked out in the second round away to Auchinleck Talbot. And pictured there was Jordan Brown. Number 22. Oh, ridiculous question, and this is why I love it. Is this strip Clacknacuddin, Wick Academy, East Stirlingshire, or Gretna 2008, which is an under-12s team? Which team is this? Clacknacuddin, Wick Academy, East Stirlingshire, or Gretna 2008? I mean, you could stare at the strip all you want. I think a lot of people might take a guess at this. Correct answer in question 22 is, this is obviously, I think we all knew, the strip of Clacknacuddin. Just a very satisfying word to say, Clacknacuddin. Clacknacuddin, they knocked out in the second round. They lost 7-0 to Brora Rangers in that competition last year. They beat Nairn County in the first round, and the reason that's important is Michael Bokel, who works for the Scottish FA, who sets up these quizzes, is a Nairn County fan, so the fact that the team that they lost to got pumped 7-0 is very enjoyable. Let's move on to question number 23. Question number 23, we have a red strip for you here. Question number 23, what team is this? Is this Clyde? Is it Stirling Albion, Gallifreydine Rovers, or Dalbeattie Star? What team is this? Clyde, Stirling Albion, Gallifreydine Rovers, or Dalbeattie Star? Answer in this one is B, Stirling Albion. So it's a Stirling Albion strip. Stirling Albion last season made the third round. They beat Strathspey Thistle at home, and they lost 2-0 to Clyde at Fourth Bank in the third round. Pictured there is Paul Willis. I'm sure we all knew that. Question 24. Question 24. I like this strip. I think it's quite nice. What team is it though? Question number 24. Name the club. Your options are Stenhousemuir, Keith, which is just a guy. It's just a guy. So if you think that guy's called Keith, you might be right. Linlithgow Rose, or Kelty Hearts. What team is that? Stenhousemuir, Keith, Linlithgow Rose, or Kelty Hearts? The answer we were looking for on this one is D, Kelty Hearts. Kelty Hearts, they lost 3-0 to the Auchinleck Talbot. 3-0. It was live on BBC, I'm sure, that game. And obviously the Lowland League champions managed by Barry Ferguson. Question number 25. Question number 25. Let's see who we've got here. We've got someone in a nice wee blue strip. Name the player. Not name the player, name the club. Name the player because I've got it in front of me, so that is easier for me. Is it Forfar, Stranraer, Cowdenbeath, or Montrose? Name that player. If you want to name the player, you can do it in the comments afterwards, but name the club we're looking for with this strip. So your options are Forfar, Stranraer, Cowdenbeath, or Montrose. And the answer we're looking for is Montrose. D, Montrose. The person we were looking for, if you got the player as well, was Sean Dillon. So Sean Dillon was the guy we were looking for. Let's move on to question number 26. A wee Fenerbahce styled number here. What club is this? Is it Auchinleck Talbot strip? Is it East Fife, Nairn County, or Dumbarton? Name the club. Auchinleck Talbot, East Fife, Nairn County, or Dumbarton? I quite like this strip actually. It's kind of one you'd see a lot in Sunday League as well, I think, that kind of vibe. The correct answer for this one is D, Dumbarton. Pictured as Rico Katongo, son of the infamous Jose. Dumbarton lost 1-0 to semi-finalists Aberdeen at Pittodrie, like Sam Cosgrove goal. They'd beaten Forfar in the previous round. 4 more to go. Let's do question 27. This is one of the ones I would say, don't look at the strip, look at the surroundings. There's your clue. 27, who's this? Is it Annan Athletic, Berwick Rangers, Fort William, or Alloa Athletic? Which team is this? Is it Annan Athletic, Berwick Rangers, Fort William, or Alloa? Quite a nice wee picture there, kind of like a modern day Von Trapp family. But what team was it? Name the club. The correct answer here is, I think the surroundings are a dead giveaway. The answer is C, Fort William. They made the second round in the Scottish Cup this season for only the second time in their history, taking Albion Rovers to a replay before getting scudded 5-0 in the replay. Question 28. 28 we have here. Name this club. Have they won the Scottish Cup? Is this a stage photo? Is this a Photoshop? Is it Spartans, Bonnyrigg Rose Athletic, Hamilton Accies, or Brecon City? One of these teams has blocked me on Twitter. Which one could it be? Let's just say I did a tweet about some sort of people giving away your details on the phone. So it's Hamilton. Hamilton have blocked me. The correct team this is Bonnyrigg Rose Athletic. Easy for me to say. Bonnyrigg Rose Athletic. Bonnyrigg made the fourth round this season. Another team who were featured on telly in a 1-0 loss against Clyde. And they'd also played against Buckie Thistle. Question number 29. Penultimate one in this round. This is one of the ones I got straight away because I knew the player, which I think makes a big difference. Who's this? Is it Edinburgh City, Elgin City, Queen's Park, or Fraserburgh? Name the club in this one. I think that's an artificial pitch there. That could be a clue. It's Edinburgh City, Elgin City, Queen's Park, or Fraserburgh. Correct answer on this one, number 29. The team we were looking for is Edinburgh City. Pictured there is Conrad Ballatoni, former Thistle player. We went down to, I think, Torquay. Kelly as well, I think he was at. And now is a financial advisor as well. And I was at a testimonial dinner and he'd sponsored it and he'd spelt financial wrong. So well done, Conrad. I didn't know this. Edinburgh City's nickname is the Citizens. Big fan of that. And final question in this round. Name the club. We've got a Callahome sponsored team here, but who is it? Is this team Forfar Athletic, Vale of Leithen, BSC Glasgow, or Pennycook Athletic? Which team is this? Forfar Athletic, Vale of Leithen, BSC Glasgow, or Pennycook Athletic? Which team is this? Final one in the name of the club round. I quite enjoy this round. It's quite fun. Correct answer is, this is another one that I got purely because my team played them this season. The answer is D, Pennycook Athletic. We played them in the third round and they brought 1,500 fans to Firhill, which is more than a lot of clubs do. So yeah, we beat them. We absolutely pumped them 1-0. So good on them. So well done. That's the end of round 3. So we're 60% of the way through the quiz. So we're going to move on to the next round in a minute. Before that, we'll have a look at the leaderboard coming up. So I'm going to try to find out how Ian Maxwell is doing as well, because hopefully he's still doing terribly. So let's see. We've got some shout outs as well. Greg Masson in Inverurie, and Gary the Howbie is playing in Cape Town. So remember, get in touch with us, because let's be honest, no one else is doing anything. It's quite nice being able to chat, find out where people are doing it, and we have let's have a look at the leaderboards right now. So Scott Cummings is now into the lead, overtaking Richard Gordon's boys. There's a guy that I play Sunday football who keeps moaning, asking if you're going to shout out. He's called Roddy Cairns. Roddy, I've got your message, stop crying. Richard Gordon's been in touch to say he's playing with his sons, Oliver in Glasgow. Richard, is it you that's top of the league? And Kiefer in Melbourne. Melbourne is 11 hours ahead of us, so Kiefer is currently playing at 8 a.m. What a loser. So thanks for getting in touch. And Richard Gordon in second place, and we have, I can't read that because it's too small, but 27, 26. Ian Maxwell currently 219th. He's saying he is on the march. Don't let anyone say that, Richard, or anyone marching, because we'll have to write a 200-page essay about it. So let's not message it. We have Anne 86, so on 25 points. On 40th place, we've got Stephen Watson, Tommy Young, Graham Farquhar, Chris Gregg, Neil Fraser, David Gibb, Jonathan Moore, Dean McCurdy, and Ross Gray. Well done to you guys. And I think we've got all the way down here. Richard Gordon's boys is not Richard Gordon, which is weird enough. Oh, you know, it is him, and he wants everyone to know he is 217 places ahead of Ian Maxwell. I love that everyone's getting involved slagging Ian Maxwell, which is a shame because he is the 84th best centre defender I've seen play at Partick Thistle. So, let's go. Round number 4. Round number 4 is the odd one out round. This one is the odd one out round. So we're going to give you a question. We're going to give you 4 answers. One of them is the odd one out. We need you to tell us which one the odd one out is. It'll become apparent once you play along after the first one. So let's go to question number 31. Who's the odd one out of this one? Question number 31. Teams to have played in the bottom tier, the 3rd Division or League 2 since 2000. So who's played in the bottom tier? Which one of these teams has not played in the bottom tier since 2000? Ross County, Hamilton Academicals, my favourite football team in the world obviously, Greenock Morton or Livingston. Who has not played in the 3rd Division or League 2 in the rebranding? Ross County, Hamilton Accies, Greenock Morton or Livy. Bit of a tricky one this. The correct answer, the team not to have played in the bottom tier is A, Ross County. So the reason that is Ross County won the 3rd Division in 1999. So they jumped up ahead then. Morton won it in 2003, Hamilton won it in 2001, and Livingston won it in 2010, which just shows how far they've jumped ahead in the last few years. So we've done teams, let's do a player question. Who's the odd one out of this? We're looking for Scottish Premiership top goal scorers since 2013-2014. Obviously, when the new top flight started, when our restructuring actually happened. Who has not finished the top goal scorer? Chris Boyd, Adam Rooney, Scott Sinclair, or Liam Boyce? Who is not finished top goal scorer? Chris Boyd, Adam Rooney, Scott Sinclair, or Liam Boyce? The correct answer for this one, the one not to have finished top scorer, is rather surprisingly, I got this one wrong. I thought it would have been him, but Scott Sinclair has never finished top goal scorer. Scored lots of goals in his time here. Adam Rooney scored 18 goals in 2014-15. Liam Boyce got 23 in 2016-17. And Chris Boyd got 18 goals in 2017-2018. And then I think scored about 2 the season after. Back to clubs. Let's go to question 33. Question 33. Teams that have played in the preliminary rounds of the Scottish Cup this season. Let's just say inaugural, because it's easier than preliminary. You know what I mean. Who's not played in the preliminary? I hate this word. I think I can smell toast. Who's not? Beath Juniors, Dundonald Bluebell, Lochie United, or Jeanfield Swifts? Who has not played in the preliminary rounds this season? Beath Juniors, Dundonald Bluebell, Lochie United, or Jeanfield Swifts? So the team that hasn't, I'm just making it hard for myself, haven't I? That haven't played in the you know what I mean. The one that hasn't played in the first few rounds of the Scottish Cup this season was in fact A, Beath Juniors. Beath Juniors, 2 seasons ago, got to the 3rd round of the Scottish Cup last season, but this season weren't involved. Question 34. Hopefully the word preliminary, you know what word doesn't make any appearance in the rest of this. I talk for a living as well. I should be able to say that word. Question 34. Which of these managers has not won the Scottish Football Writers Manager of the Year award? Which of these managers has not won the Manager of the Year award? Csaba Laszlo, Peter Houston, Mixu Patalainen, or Jim McIntyre? Who hasn't won the Scottish Writers Manager of the Year award? Csaba Laszlo, Peter Houston, Big Mixu, or wee Jim McIntyre? The odd one out in this round, the one who has not won the Manager of the Year award, is in fact B, Peter Houston. Laszlo won it when he was at Hibs in 08-09. Patalainen won it at Killie in 2010-2011. And Jim McIntyre won it at Ross County 2015 to 2016. Peter Houston never won it. Question number 35. Let's go to a question about the national team now. Question number 35. Which of these players was not capped by Scotland in 2019? So who didn't win a cap for us last calendar year? Scott McKenna, Kieran Tierney, Callum Patterson, or Mark McNulty? All four full Scotland internationals, but who did not win a cap in 2019? Scott McKenna, Kieran Tierney, Callum Patterson, or Mark McNulty? The correct answer in this one, rather surprisingly and quite saddening if you think about the fact he is one of our best players, Kieran Tierney was not capped by Scotland in 2019. He was called up for the Kazakhstan game at the start, which we got pumped in, and then was injured, and that was the story of his last year pretty much. Scott McKenna played a few times obviously. Callum Patterson started up front against San Marino and got injured, even though he didn't want to play on an artificial pitch. He played on a grass pitch and got injured on the grass, and Mark McNulty came on to replace him in that game. Mark McNulty, one of 6 strikers to start up front for Scotland last season. Question 36. Question 36, halfway through this round. Teams to have won the Highland League since 2000. So which one of these has not won the Highland League since the year 2000? We've got Clacknacuddin, we've got Formartine United, we've got Forres Mechanic, and Keith. Just an old man called Keith, who has not won the Highland League since 2000. I do stand-up comedy. I've done stand-up comedy since about quite a few years. More people that I know, whenever they want to do a punchline about a funny name, they use the word Keith. Just a heads up, if you see someone using the punchline Keith, it's lazy, and I've got 2 jokes that have the word Keith in it. Teams that have won the Highland League since 2000, the odd one out, the team not to have won the Highland League is Formartine United. Formartine been runners-up 3 times, 13, 16 and 18. Keith won it in 2007, well done that man. Forres won it in 2012, and Clacknacuddin, a word I've never said before in my life, but I've said about 20 times tonight, won it in 2004. 37. Question 37. We're looking for the odd one out in this round, and it's teams to have played in a European final at Hampden. I live across the road from Hampden. Hampden is right behind me here. What team have not played at a European final at Hampden? 4 German teams to choose from: Borussia Dortmund, Eintracht Frankfurt, Borussia Mönchengladbach, or Bayer Leverkusen. Who's not played at Hampden in a European Cup final? Obviously the Bundesliga coming back in a couple of weeks. I think the 16th of May they've announced. So make sure you choose your Bundesliga team. If you're wondering which one to choose, the commentator Derek Ray is on Twitter. He's giving out recommendations for teams even in lower leagues. So he could be a good guy to get in touch with to find out who you should support. The German team here not to have played in a European final at Hampden is in fact C. Borussia Mönchengladbach. How can I say that word but I can't say preliminary? I still can't do it. Dortmund played in 1966, which was a terrible year for football. They beat Liverpool 2-1. Eintracht Frankfurt, a very famous 7-3 game against Real Madrid. And Bayer Leverkusen played in the Zidane volley game in 2002 against Real Madrid. So the correct answer there was C. Borussia Mönchengladbach. 38. We're going to talk about Scottish women's national team now. Which of these players did not make the women's national team World Cup squad? So 3 of these players did, 1 didn't. Who did not make the squad? Fiona Brown, Nicola Docherty, Jenna Fife, or Zoe Ness? Women's campaign last season, I think we can all agree, probably should have qualified from that group. That last game will haunt us for a while, and maybe not starting well enough in a couple of other games, scoring some late goals. But which one of these players did not make the Scotland women's national World Cup team? Was it Fiona Brown, Nicola Docherty, Jenna Fife, or Zoe Ness? The answer, unfortunately for her, was D. Zoe Ness. Zoe Ness was not picked for that squad. She did come back in August for a game against Cyprus, and we won 8-0. So I think if she'd been selected, we would have won the World Cup. It's the only thing that makes sense. Question number 39, the penultimate one, which means second last in this round. Let's go to the Europa League. Teams that played a Europa League qualifier. Which of these 4 have not played a Europa League qualifier? Dundee United, Falkirk, Inverness Cali Thistle, or Ross County? Remember, the Europa League didn't start till relatively recently, but which one of these teams has not played in a Europa League qualifier? Dundee United, Falkirk, ICT, or Ross County? Who has not played in Europa League qualifier? Correct answer in this one, the team that hasn't played in Europa League qualifier is D. Ross County. Ross County haven't played. Europa League started in 2009. Falkirk played in the inaugural season. And see, qualifiers are a much easier word than preliminary. Yeah, still can't say it. Inverness played in 2015. Dundee United actually played 3 different years in a row: 2010, 2011, and 2012. Back before they had Lawrence Shankland. And the last question in this round. This is the kind of football trivia I like. Of these players, who has not been on loan to a club in Scotland? 4 players we're going to show you who's not been on loan to a club in Scotland. We've got Jay Rodriguez, Danny Higginbottom, Kasper Schmeichel, and Robbie Earnshaw. Who's not been on loan to a club in Scotland? Jay Rodriguez, obviously playing a lot in the Premier League now. Danny Higginbottom, playing in the Premier League, was also capped for Gibraltar. Kasper Schmeichel, Premier League winner. Robbie Earnshaw, a real thorn in Scottish football's side when he played for Wales. But who of these 4 players has not played in Scotland? The answer is B. Danny Higginbottom. Danny Higginbottom has not played in Scotland. He did play for Chester, and I went to see Chester play about 2011 in a 0-0 draw, and he was woeful. G. Rodriguez was at Stirling Albion in 2008. Kasper Schmeichel was at Falkirk in 2007, and Robbie Earnshaw, way back in the year 2000, played on loan at Morton. So that's us 4 rounds down. We've got one round to go, but let's give away our 3rd spot prize. I'm going to get up a winner here. Let's see. I love that this Scott Cummings has been in touch to please stress he is not a rugby player. That is the most Scottish football quiz thing to get in touch with. So the winner of the last question, we asked how many different teams featured in that video of late Scottish Cup goals. We saw Aberdeen, Dundee United, St Johnstone, Inverness, Falkirk, Dunfermline, Celtic, Rangers and Hibs. So the answer was 9. 9 teams featured in that video. So our winner for this round is Gordon McCaw. Congratulations to Gordon McCaw. You've won in this Scottish Taxi board game. Get in touch with, if it's Facebook or Twitter, how you entered that, and we'll be sending that out to you after the lockdown. A few other shout outs. Steve Durnan is playing in Callow in Finland, so hi to Steve. Duncan Drever in Edinburgh. Let's see who else. We've got Elliot Busby in Houston, Texas. We have David Ewing hiding from his kids in the kitchen, having a shocker and getting worse each round. I think he might be drinking. And shout out to Lauren, from Lorna to Cal, age 11, who got full marks on round 2 of the big football quiz. So well done to Cal there. And let's have a look at the leaderboard in a sec. But before that, what we want to do is give out our 4th final spot prize of the evening. Another Scotland Taxi board game. We're going to show you another video. We're going to show you this video, and what we want you to do is, again, tell us what season this video comes from. Get in touch, hashtag Big Football Quiz on Twitter to put your answers in. Get in touch in the Facebook comments and let us know how you're getting on with it. Let us know where you're playing from, but most importantly, let us know your answer for this. Something a bit more recent. Have a look at this video and let us know which season you think this is from. So an easier way to ask that question is, what year did Rod Stewart lose his mind? Let us know what season that was. Hashtag Big Football Quiz on Twitter and comment in the Facebook comments, and we'll be giving that away at the end of the final round. So you've got about 5-10 minutes to enter. Get your answers in quickly and we'll go to the final round in a sec. But first, let's have a look at the leaderboard. We'll go to the top of the leaderboard first, and in first place right now we have Richard Gordon's boys on 34. Well done to Richard and his boys. In second place, Scott Cummings, not the rugby player he would like us to stress, on 33 points. In third place, Austin Purdy is on 32 points. This is actually my wife's cousin and his pals. Austin's a Thistle fan. They finished third last time, I think, round, and lost out in the fastest fingers first thing, and then cried to me on Twitter for about a week. So hopefully they don't finish in the top two, otherwise I'll get more tears for the rest of the year. Let's have a look at those in 438th place. A key one, 18 points so far. That's actually not bad considering. Sean McConaughey, James Brown, Dave Poupard, Mandy Gow, Jonathan Watt, Liam Gibb, Jonathan Coleman, Callum Stewart, James O'Cleavy and Sean McHugh, all sitting there in 438th place. Ian Maxwell currently sitting in 140th, and we have one more round to go. So let's move on to the final round, which is the wonderfully catchy title, Questions from Those Associated with a Scottish Cup Final. So here we go. What a title. It's almost like, believe it or not, there is a marketing department that do this, and you'd think they'd come up with something catchier. So all these people are associated with the Scottish Cup Final in some way or some form. They're going to ask you a question, same as before, multiple choice answers, 4 possible ones, and let's go to the first one. The first one comes from Darryl Curry at Premier Sports. Darryl Curry at Premier Sports wants to know, how many times did a Scottish Cup Final go to a second replay? So how many times did a Scottish Cup Final go to a second replay? Was it 4, 6, 8 or 10? So Scottish Cup Final replay is obviously a thing of the past now, much like football in general just now, to be honest. But how many times does a Scottish Cup Final go to a second replay? 4, 6, 8 or 10? So older watchers might get this one a bit easier than the kind of younger generation, I think. But the answer is A, 4. Scottish Cup Final's gone to a second replay 4 times. The last time being in 1979, when Rangers beat Hibs 3-2. A game in which I think Kenny Miller made his Rangers debut. Let's move on to question 42. This one's come in for Alistair Lamont at the BBC. I noticed we didn't ask Richard Gordon to ask a question. This is a good question. I enjoyed this one. Which team was the last to beat Celtic in a Scottish Cup tie over 90 minutes? So Celtic obviously won the last 3 Scottish Cups, but who was the last one to beat them in 90 minutes in the Scottish Cup? Rangers, Aberdeen, Inverness, Caledonian, Thistle or Hearts? So, who was the last team to beat Celtic in a Scottish Cup tie over 90 minutes? Rangers, Aberdeen, Inverness, Cali, Thistle or Hearts? Obviously, they've won the last 3. Think back to before then. Correct answer in this one, the last team to beat Celtic, quite staggeringly, if to be honest, in a Scottish Cup tie over 90 minutes is B, Aberdeen. Aberdeen beat Celtic 2-1 at Celtic Park in the 5th round on the 8th of February 2014. Since then, Celtic haven't lost a Scottish Cup tie in 90 minutes. Obviously, they lost to Rangers in penalties, 2016 I think it was. So there you go in that one. Question 43. This has come in from Stephen McManus, obviously a former Scottish Cup winner. In 1974 League Cup final, Dixie Dean scored a hat-trick for Celtic in a 6-3 win over Hibs. Which Hibs player also scored a hat-trick that day? So, the 1974 League Cup final, Dixie Dean's got a hat-trick for Celtic, but who scored a hat-trick for Hibs? Was it Jimmy O'Rourke, Alan Gordon, Ian Munro or Joe Harper? This is what I like about kind of 1970s footballers. They don't have any fancy names. They all sound like guys that might be on the committee of your local bowling club. The kind of guy who would serve you a £1.60 Tia Maria and Coke. But who scored a hat-trick in the 1974 League Cup final? Dixie Dean's got one, but who got one for Hibs? Jimmy O'Rourke, Alan Gordon, Ian Munro or Joe Harper? The answer for this one is D, Joe Harper. The former Aberdeen man getting a hat-trick for Hibs that day in a 6-3 loss. That game wasn't televised. The only way you could watch it was highlights on the BBC that night or on Scott Sport the following day. Mad. Football wasn't televised then, and this morning I watched a South Korean league game. Change days. Question number 44. Question 44, this one comes in from Diageo Drink IQ, one of the sponsors. What is the furthest a Highland League side has ever made it in the Scottish Cup? So Highland League sides have done well in the Scottish Cup over the years, but what's the furthest they've ever gone? 4th round, 5th round, quarter-finals or semi-finals? I know as a Thistle fan over the years, maybe 3-4 years ago we played for Martin, maybe about 15-20 years ago we played Devonvale. So Highland League sides have punched above their weight in the time, but what's the furthest they've gone? 4th round, 5th round, quarter-finals or semi-finals? For this one, the answer we were looking for is, of course, in 1968, against Greenock Morton, Elgin City got to the quarter-finals, where they lost. So the quarter-finals is the right answer for that one, in 1968. So a nice topical question just 52 years ago from Diageo, thanks for that. Aged like one of their whiskies. So Elgin City reached the quarter-finals in 1968. Question number 45. This one has come in from a fan. Derek Robertson has submitted it, and let's just say he won the Scottish Cup. Scotsman Donald Coleman invented the dugout in the 1930s, but which club installed them first? So Donald Coleman invented the dugout in the 30s, but who installed them first? Hearts of Midlothian, Leith Athletic, Aberdeen, or Third Lanark? Donald Coleman invented the dugout, but who had them first? This is one of the questions, I think it's like the floodlight question. I think if you know this straight away. What team had a dugout first? Hearts, Leith, Aberdeen, Third Lanark. This is quite an obvious one if you think about it. The correct answer, where would you want to be sheltered from the weather, is another way of saying this. And the answer is C, Aberdeen. A very windy city, Aberdeen. Donald Coleman was the manager at the time and thought, I'm not standing in the wind like this, so he invented the dugout. He also played 300 times for Aberdeen, also played for Dumbarton in his career. So Coleman was a coach at Aberdeen when he came up with the idea. Halfway through this round, 5 more to go. Our next one comes from a love-hate figure in Scottish football. It's the beautiful Bobby Madden. Bobby Madden, I refereed the first of my 154 Premiership games in 2011. How many direct red cards have I issued? 12, 24, 36 or 40? A big fan of the 12 times table is our Bobby Madden. So this is direct red cards. This isn't 2 yellows, it's a straight red. How many direct red cards has he issued? We're not including ones issued to Ryan Jack that were then rescinded. But how many direct red cards has he issued? 12, 24, 36 or 48 in 154 games. 154 Premiership games, Bobby Madden has in fact given out 24 direct red cards. 24 direct red cards in his time. Bobby Madden, of course, refereed the 2017 Scottish Cup final. Question 47, one of my favourite questions in the quiz, purely because the person has asked this just to slag someone off, and I am here for it. This is from Kenny Miller, a past winner. He first won the Cup with Hibs in 1907. Which player said it's too hot for football as he walked up the tunnel at half-time in the Scottish Cup final? So who said it was too hot for football? Bear in mind, this was a game played in Scotland. Was it Lee McCulloch, Kyle Lafferty, Danny Wilson, or Chris Boyd? Who said it was too hot for football as he walked up the tunnel at half-time in the Scottish Cup final? Lee McCulloch, Kyle Lafferty, Danny Wilson, Chris Boyd. The answer in this one, I love Kenny Miller for just slagging someone off in this one. The answer, of course, was D, Chris Boyd. It was the 2009 Cup final. Rangers were playing Falkirk. He said it was too hot for football as he went up the tunnel. He got hooked at half-time. Nacho Novo replaced him and scored within a minute as Rangers went on to win the game. Just an aside, the people in this, if you get a chance, Chris Boyd, get on YouTube and type Chris Boyd mattress advert. When he was, I think it was at Portland or wherever he was in America, he did a advert for mattresses. If you've not seen it, it will make your lockdown experience so much more enjoyable, especially when he talks about protein shakes. It's so good. Once the quiz is finished, get on and check that out. Question number 48. Question 48 has come from my best friend Stephen Craigan, a co-commentator at Premier Sports. Which of these clubs has only won the Scottish Cup once? Who's only won the Scottish Cup once? Is it Partick Thistle, Clyde, Motherwell or Dunfermline Athletic? Which of these clubs has only won the Scottish Cup once? Partick Thistle, Clyde, Motherwell or Dunfermline Athletic? Who's only won it once? Partick Thistle, Clyde, Motherwell or Dunfermline Athletic? The answer in this one, sadly, rather depressingly, the team to have only won the Scottish Cup once is Partick Thistle. Partick Thistle won it in 1921, Clyde won it 3 times, Dunfermline won it twice, and rather surprisingly, Motherwell have only won it twice. The reason I say Stephen Craig's my best friend, I played for Thistle in a testimonial, and I played centre half with them, and he helped me out from getting killed because I went for a 50-50 with Barry Robson. Barry Robson essentially stamped on me, and accidentally, I think, fell down. I went to help him up, and I thought it was a friendly, and Barry Robson looked me straight in the eyes and went, "There's no such thing as a friendly," and then just walked away. And Stephen Craig then came up to me and said, "Stay away from Robson, he's an effing psycho." There we go. Question number 49. Penultimate question of the quiz. 2 more to go. This is the one for the Highbees I was talking about earlier. In 2012, Hearts beat Hibs 5-1. I'll just repeat that again. Hearts beat Hibs 5-1 in the Scottish Cup final. How many times had they faced each other in a Scottish Cup final before? 0, 1, 2 or 3? So how many times in an Edinburgh Derby been the Scottish Cup final? This question is from Brian McLaughlin at the BBC. How many times has Hearts played Hibs? Obviously, they played in 2012 when Hearts beat Hibs 5-1, lol. But how many times have they played before? 0, 1, 2 or 3? The answer we're looking for is they played each other once before. They played each other once before. That was in 1896 at New Logie Green in Edinburgh. Hearts actually won that 3-1. So in Edinburgh derbies, this is purely for Kenny Miller, ex-journalist who now works for Hibs. Your combined aggregate against Hearts in Scottish Cup finals, they are 8-2 up. Enjoy that, mate. And the last question of the quiz. Question number 50. We might as well end it at the home of Scottish football. What was the last time Hampden Park hosted a crowd of over 100,000? So when was the last time Hampden Park hosted a crowd of over 100,000? Here's your options. 1971, Rangers Celtic in a Scottish Cup final replay. 1972, a home international between Scotland and England. 1973, a Scottish Cup final between Rangers and Celtic. Or 1974, a home international between Scotland and England. When was the last time we had 100,000 at Hampden? Not Beyonce, no one's made it since, certainly not a Scotland qualifier in the last 2 years. But when was the last time we had a crowd of over 100,000 people at Hampden? Celtic Rangers in 71, Scotland England 72, Rangers Celtic 73, or 74 Scotland England? The final answer to the quiz that we're looking for, the correct answer here, last 100,000 was Rangers v Celtic in 1973. The trophy is actually at the Scottish Football Museum. So once lockdown is over and it's back open up and we're back and safe, you should go check it out in person. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's us come to the end of the quiz. So we'll go to the leaderboard in a second. But the final thing we need to do before that is give away our final spot prize. Our final spot prize of the evening is we asked what year was the video from. Essentially, it was the year Rod Stewart lost his mind and did the woo, which is my favourite thing about a Scottish Cup draw in ages. The winner of that and the final spot prize of the evening is Gordon Wilson. Gordon Wilson, I believe you entered in Facebook. So Gordon, get in touch with the guys on that page and they'll, with your address and all that, and they'll send one out to you there. So congratulations to Gordon for that. And let's go to our final league table. So the leaderboard, congratulations to Richard Gordon's boys. You have won the quiz with 42 points. Richard, so you've won a Scottish Supporters Club membership, a Scotland Away top, and also the board game. 42 points. Austin Purdy with 39 points in second place. Well done to David and all them. Ian McLean with 39 points in second place. And well done there. The official top 10, I'll read through. We've also got Ian McLean. Scott Cumming, unfortunately, finished on 38 points, just outside the top. Russell Gordon on 38, Craig Anderson 37, Graham McRoberts 36, David Stoker 36, and 86 35, David Ogilvie and Dale S on 35. Richard Gordon has now just said his son Oliver will get all his stuff, so that's good. So he's not taking all the stuff away from other people. Thanks for that, Richard. And Kenny Miller from Hibs has sent me a message that I'm not allowed to read out. Ian Maxwell finished 97th, and he's told me listening to me say I still can't say it, preliminary has put him off it for his dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for playing along with these. A lot of work goes into this behind the scenes from people at the Scottish FA, so if you've enjoyed it, make sure you tell people on social media, let them know, because a lot of people are working from home. It's a lot difficult just now, so let them know. If you didn't enjoy it, don't be a grass, just shut up. And thank you very much for playing along. Hopefully we'll be doing another one of these if lockdown does last. And finally, if you are a key worker, thank you for all your help over the past few weeks. We really appreciate everything you're doing. If you're NHS, supermarket worker, taxi drivers, all those people who are out there making things possible for us tonight. Thank you very much for playing along. We're going to finish with a wee video from people you might recognise. But thanks for playing along. And remember, stay home, stay safe, and enjoy your weekend. I've been Ray Bradshaw. Enjoy your night. Bye.
On behalf of everyone at the Scotland national team, I'd like to thank once more our wonderful NHS staff.
Thank you to everyone for all your incredible efforts so far.
Thank you for all the incredible work you're doing.
I just wanted to say thank you once again to our wonderful NHS.
Thank you to all our health professionals working on the front line to keep us safe.
The work you're currently doing during these challenging times is amazing.
You're doing an amazing job, and we just want to say thanks.
You really are the true heroes. I know it's crazy times, but keep us going. You are the real heroes.
And to everybody else, to all the Scottish fans,
stay home and stay safe.